These are only the details that we have at this point in time. Mayuresh Joshi is with us. He's a Director of Research at MarketSmith India. Mayuresh, good to speak to you on a pretty sad day. Just a quick word, Mayuresh, on markets per se, and what's on your mind, and what have you guys been doing? A little bit of a down day today.
100%. I think deeply saddening to see these images on the screen. So no two ways about it. As far as markets are concerned, our own sense is that healthcare as a space selectively, pharma as a space selectively, is where our expectation is that earnings should hold up and remain steady state. Obviously, I think consumption is a pack where large pools of expectations of earnings recovery in the second half is something that we are penciling in as well, both in terms of urban and rural consumption expected to come back. And therefore, selective names from the FMCG baskets, name like Marico as an example. Some names that we've kept on our radar within the alcohol beverages space. Yes, there was news in terms of the Maharashtra hikes yesterday, but our own sense is that the premiumization market should still hold up. And therefore, stocks like Radico is something that we keep on holding in our portfolios. And at the same time, the recent additions that we've probably done within the healthcare and pharma space is Fortis Healthcare. Our take on Fortis is that numbers have been strong, are expected to continue remaining strong, both in terms of the hospital business. The acquisition that they have done on the diagnostic business has pulled up the debt EBITDA ratios. But somewhere I think cash flows and margins for both businesses should continue faring into it. Being selective in the market, but certain pockets in our opinion can continue.
In the alco bev, it's only Radico Khaitan that you like. What about something like United Spirits or United Breweries?
Afternoon, I think Radico is something that we are holding in our global and local portfolios. Our sense is that with the Maharashtra judgment, and obviously a lot was spoken about it and analyzed yesterday, the earnings impact should be minimal compared to the rest of the pack, including the likes of USL and allied blenders as an example. And therefore, I think with premiumization, with the expectations of demand inelasticity and the portfolio that they probably carry at this juncture, when the super premium portfolio within the premium portfolio should actually cost 500 odd crores, with good demand coming through for all the malts that they've probably developed in terms of spirits. I think that should continue auguring well as far as numbers are concerned. UBL is on our radar, and obviously I think the expectations in terms of volume growth expected to continue at a decent pace. Input costs, specifically molasses, bottle prices are relatively lower, and therefore I think on an absolute basis, absolute EBITDA and margins should also hold up. So UBL stays on our radar, but Radico is something that we continue.
Both the exchanges, the commodity exchange as well as BSE, both of them have cooled off, Mayuresh, in the last few days. Buy the dip, or they've become too expensive? Wait, buy. No,
they were always expensive, Nigel. Afternoon to you as well. So the point here is that the long-term structural story obviously remains. The entry of barriers are going to be extremely high in terms of any new exchange expected to come up. And therefore, I think the optionality factor that comes through in terms of valuations, in terms of transactions to trading volumes expected to go significantly higher over the next 4 to 5 years stays. The annuity part of their business remains very, very strong and stable. And therefore, I think the legs of business growth continue to be structural in nature over the next 4 to 5 years. However, my own sense is that the run-up has been a little bit too sharp and too soon in a matter of a few weeks and months. And therefore, I think a cool-off is necessary. I think if they do cool off, BSE in particular, I think that poses a good buying opportunity. At these levels, I think it's a tad bit expensive.
Z Entertainment, the stock has come off from the day's high by I think 4-5%. It's only up about 1%, but there is a board meeting on Monday where they will discuss growth plans for the next 3 to 5 years. Any thoughts on Z?
Oh, sorry,
and what? Yeah.
Sorry. So we'll wait and watch, Bima. I think again, what comes through is one aspect, but the other aspect is core numbers itself. Our core numbers expected to play out. What happens in terms of the entire ownership saga that has been going on is not giving clarity, at least to us, in terms of the future outlook and what to peg in terms of earnings estimates. So I think it's a wait and watch for us.